Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 69 here on season 1. Today, we are diving into stash retire. Is it safe? So this comes from a question I got from Cody, who was asking about stash, like, do you think the stash Roth IRA, stash retire, is a good place to put my money, or should I consider putting it into a different Roth IRA? And then we'll also, and in the next episode, we'll also dive on to stash retire versus a regular Roth IRA. So be on the lookout for that episode. And then last of all, say stash was to go out of business, what actually happens with your money? So anyways, let's go ahead and dive into it. So is stash retire safe? I think it is. I think it's a safe place to put your money. Obviously, there's going to be pros and cons versus a normal managed account versus you managing your own Roth IRA. So if you think about it, if you were to put it into a normal account, you could put it into a managed Roth IRA, which somebody's going to be actively trading or readjusting your account, all that kind of stuff, buying stocks, buying bonds, selling bonds, buying whatever else you can buy as investments, and then selling those to help you generate a greater return on your investment. Where with stash, you got to have a lot of, well, not a lot, but a little bit more investment knowledge on how the stock market works and when you should buy and when you should sell and how you should dollar cost average or how you should set up percentages in your account or whatever strategy you're gonna use to grow your wealth. You got to have a pretty good solid foundation on how you're going to do that. So that's the only negative to stash. But let's dive into what would happen if stash went out of business tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't think that this is going to happen, but I did give them a phone call. I called their support hotline just to kind of figure out what would happen if this actually were to happen, worst case scenario. So they are actually it's weird. So they're like, here we use their app, and then the money is actually handled by Apex, which is a company that is headquartered in Dallas, Texas. They also handle Betterment, as well as Stash, like I've already said, and then other financial entities as well. I don't know if they handle Acorns, but I'm pretty sure that, I think that they might, or some other company similar to Acorns handles Acorns. But basically, they handle Betterment and Stash, which are both very reputable, and then they're basically the custodian of the account. So they handle the money, they handle the transactions. So when you place a trade through the Stash app, you're like, oh, I placed a trade. That trade gets sent over to Apex. Apex places the trade. They hold the shares, or they hold the money that you deposit in the account. So Stash literally has nothing to do with all of it. It's just Stash is literally the app interface that's connected to Apex, and Apex is where you do all your trading. So if Stash were to close tomorrow, you would still have your money and your shares and all that. You would just probably have to contact Apex. I mean, I'm sure that the closeout of Stash, if that were to ever happen, would be really smooth. They would probably let you know this is where you contact to get your funds. If you want to continue to keep them in this account, this is what you do. All this kind of stuff. So from my own personal experience, Stash has really good customer service. I've never had a problem with them. Even when they released the beta on Stash Retire, my account wouldn't link up to begin with, and boom, it was within a few hours I was in contact with them. They're like, yeah, it's just because it's a beta test, we're working out some issues. Go ahead and screenshot us, and it was a day later they had it back up and running. They had the app they had a new update on the app, and boom, it worked perfect. So never had a problem with it. So yeah, pretty much. So if you're is it safe? It's not even Stash that handles your money. It's actually a different company. So don't worry about Stash going out. I would be more worried about Apex, but I think Apex is going to be in here for the long run. They do a lot of technology-based investing, so they work with a lot of e-based investing, that kind of stuff. So they partner with businesses on how to do that, and then they also they believe they partner with individuals, and then they also partner with these companies that handle individual investments as well. So don't worry too much about that. So I think it's a safe bet for you to go ahead and open up a Stash Roth IRA. But let's go ahead and dive into the question of the day. And the question of the day is, how long can you hold your breath? No, I'm not going to hold it the entire time. I would guess to say that it's probably about 30 seconds, but I'm sure at one point it was like a minute, but I'm sure it's like 30 seconds tops, and that would be it. We actually, me and my son, when we drive up to drop him off at his great grandma's house, we drive up this hill, and we all like sit there and scream up this hill and see who can go the longest. Boy, has that been exercising the lungs. Anyways, I hope that helps you understand a little bit more on how long I can hold my breath. I don't know why that's important. But anyways, if you have any questions regarding Stash, Acorns, Robinhood, investing in general, small business, Etsy, basketball, coaching, anything like that, go ahead and post them down below, and I will get them questions down below, and I will get them on the next episode. And until next time, don't forget to subscribe up here and check out what is Stash Retire, and then check out this other cool video right about here. And until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.